What's going on, beautiful people? It is I, your flying locomotive and faster than a speeding bullet SuperCliff, coming at you live with a brand new video. And for today's majestic and fantastic video, the first new video for 2024, we are kicking off the new year with a new series. For I am talking about Kneel Before Zod, issue number 1. Before we talk about Superman's infamous baddie and Krypton's genocidal warlord, if you are new to the channel, then smash that like and subscribe button. That way you guys never miss out on anything that happens on this majestic channel. So what are you waiting for? Let's raise the bar and go full on Super Saiyan. Hit that subscribe button. Thus, without further ado, let's get thrusted into the mind of Krypton's wannabe dictator with Kneel Before Zod, issue number 1. So our story begins on New Kandor with one of Superman's most notorious villains, General Zod. Now check it. Ever since Brian Michael Bendis' Superman run, Bendis is coming, Zod has settled on a planet with his family, and here he plans to resurrect the Kryptonian Empire. He's building new machines, repopulating the planet with its natives, freeing Kryptonian prisoners from the Phantom Zone to add to the population. For once in his life, Zod isn't destroying or waging war. Zod is building a new life for his people. Now, while all this is going down, Zod is met with his best friend for life, Jor-El. Just kidding. They hate each other. Here the two have themselves a discussion. Jor-El, knowing Zod's character inside and out, basically tells our protagonist that he's not a hero, nor is he Krypton's salvation. Instead, he's just a failed general who failed to conquer Krypton. And despite Zod turning a new leaf, Jor-El doesn't buy it. He doesn't buy that Zod has the capacity to create. Rather, he's only good at doing one thing: destroying. Now, before Zod can blast Jor-El, the Eradicator interrupts the conversation, to which we see Zod getting pissed off, for his most hated enemy is trashing him on his planet. So yeah, like in any fight, one doesn't care to be interrupted whilst tensions are running high. But the Eradicator informs Zod that there is no one else present, meaning Zod is clearly having some memories of Jor-El haunting him. He is too cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. From there, Zod checks in on his wife Ursa, and while Ursa is working on the planet's tech, ensuring that the natives achieve force evolution through the ways of Krypton, we learn that she's pregnant with a second child. Now, typically in life, when a husband receives a positive update on their soon-to-be son, said husband is, typically happy. But not Zod. To be quite frank, it looks like Zod doesn't particularly care. And clearly it has to do with the previous scene, the ghost of Jor-El calling him, a failure. Afterwards, the Eradicator informs the couple of a breach within the Forbidden Sector. However, both husband and wife realize that this is the doing of their son, Drew. Therefore, Zod flies off to enact swift parenting. It turns out that Zod's kid has uncovered his father's secret weapon, for Zod has tapped into the planet's core to provide unlimited energy to power said weapon. With the amount of power the weapon is storing, the effects will cause complete annihilation to any opposing forces. But Drew is shown to be pissed off, simply on the basis that his father didn't trust him with this information. At the end of the day, the House of Zod are conquerors, and it's their divine right to unleash hell upon the galaxy. Essentially, he's calling out his father. For what's the point in having this sort of weapon if we're not going to use it? And without a second thought, Zod slaps his kid across the face. And he doesn't stop there. Hell no. He punches, he kicks, he blasts his son all over the place. To which the best is saved for last. You see, after beating the crap out of his kid, Zod exiles his son. He casts him out, hoping that Drew will learn to live alone in the huge world that we call, the DC Universe. And though both Ursa and Drew do not support this decision, the two obey their general, and Drew takes off. He leaves New Kandor in the rear view mirror. After that, we pick up 1 month later, and here New Kandor is being attacked by pirates, aka the Coons. And with ease, Zod dispatches the pirates, or in other words, he fucking demolishes them. From there, Zod has the discussion with the United Planets. Now remember, the United Planets are basically the United Nations but in space, making sure Nazi Germany doesn't make a comeback, or, in other words, making sure Zod is behaving himself. Here, the members of the United Planets are making sure Zod's open hostilities are nothing more than local trouble. And Zod is like, yeah, that's 100% the fact. Pirates suck. You know how it is, you gotta smash them to bits. However, the United Planets make sure to tell Zod that given his past record, him being a complete genocidal freak, they can't help but view him with a suspicious lens. To which they then inform Zod that they will continue to monitor New Kandor. And clearly the way that they say this is teeing off Zod. However, Zod must accept the situation for now. And alas, our issue ends with Zod and his drones preparing for a gruesome interrogation. And that, folks, was the end of Kneel Before Zod, issue number 1. And thank you guys for checking out my video, as it truly means the world to me. So at first, I wasn't really excited for this series. I wasn't hating by any means, but I didn't, know like why this book was a thing. However, after reading the first issue, I gotta say I was pleasantly surprised. Essentially, the book is asking the question, who is General Zod during a time of peace? Can Zod be someone who builds and unifies? Can he be a good dad and a loving husband? Or is he just simply a bad guy who wages war and is someone who hates Superman? Now, me personally, I'm not a fan of Zack Snyder's Man of Steel. However, I think the best character and the best part of the movie is whenever Michael Shannon's Zod is on screen, along with how the movie depicts the relationship between Zod and Jor-El. How these two are both Kryptonians but have very different ways of approaching situations. That was something Man of Steel did really well, and so because of that, we get something similar in this book. Zod, due to his mental state, is seeing Jor-El, almost like a ghost in some sort of way. And really, if you want to make the argument, the memory of Jor-El, the history and everything about Jor-El and how both him and Zod differ, the argument can be made that Jor-El is the villain of the book. Or at the very least, the comparison between these two characters is the opposing force. And much like the movie, in this issue, that rivalry works very well. My only critique with the book is the fact that the overall story, there doesn't seem to be a match on the butt sort of momentum. Therefore, because there's no immediate threat, a compelling intrigue, the book doesn't provide a incentive to pick up the second issue. Also, Zod as a villain works. However, he's not likable. So it's hard to get invested in a cast of characters, despite the approach and the question the writer has for Zod to be an interesting one. Overall, I think this is a good issue, but it would have been stronger with a hook at the end, but so far pretty good. Plus the art is simple, but it looks fantastic. If you're interested in Kneel Before Zod, then definitely check it out. So yeah, as always, I'm your majestic sayer over at SuperCliff, and if you guys are new to the channel, then do me a solid by smashing that like and subscribe button, and also the notification bell so that you'll never miss out on an upload, and so that you'll always be kept up to date with your favorite top tier comics happening in the comic book world. Now tell me, what are your thoughts and opinions on this issue? Are you guys excited for issue number 2? And with the new year in its infancy, what comics are you most excited for in 2024? Let me know down in the comment section below. And until the next video, peace, giggity goo.